Hey, welcome back to the we're three episodes in and we don't have a name.
This is true, but at least this time, this episode didn't come out a year after the second
You're
one.
right. It's only what, 2 months?
It's only been 2 months,
Which
guys. That's
it's a lot
for
better.
for our podcast. I know. So there's some podcasts out there that upload every week, every other day. For us, 2 months is a lot.
This is amazing.
This-
We've never done it so well, I think.
no,
And I think it's easier now because we're seniors, so we have a lot more time on our hands, and at the same time less time on our hands.
it's a little weird how it works that way, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really weird. How's your senior year going, Sebby?
My senior year has been a blast, and that's simply because I love my schedule so much. So basically, my schedule is I go in for the first two periods of the day. I do have band in the morning, which means I have to wake up at like 5:30, but that's okay because after I think around 10:20 ish, I get to go home for 4 hours.
That's kind of sick. So you just miss like all of lunch too, right?
Yeah, I do. It's not a missing lunch. I'm getting an early lunch.
I mean, yeah, if you put it that way, I guess so. Is that why you like senior year the most? Just schedule?
I do
Okay.
because it allows me to take a break. Last year I did not have a break, and it started to mess with me. But this year I love the break. It just works so well.
What do you do on the break?
I go home, I catch up on whatever homework I can. I start to look at other stuff like college applications, and if none of those work, I end up just watching Netflix or YouTube.
Sick.
Yeah,
Honestly, yeah. I think senior year it's a lot of working on yourself as well because you have less classes, so that means you're at school for less time. So you go home, and I guess you have a lot more free time.
well, again, it's not like everyone has less classes. It's just the classes that we took because Isaac here has also opted for a less classes schedule. So why don't you tell him about your schedule?
I only have classes in the morning, so I get there at what 6:45 in the morning for band, and then I leave probably during or after lunch sometimes, and I just go home, do some homework, work out, play guitar. It's kind of sick, honestly. It's
Right?
it's it's freeing. If
It's almost
anything.
as if the less time you're in school, the more fun you have.
I mean, I guess so. I wanted to apply it, but yeah, I mean, less school, more time to do other things besides school. I like the freedom in that.
Yeah. Also, just a quick note. I wanted to thank you guys for getting us to 91 views on
Oh
the
yeah,
second
we got
podcast.
91 views. That was insane.
That was crazy. I
That-
I was checking it this morning, and it said 91 views. I was like, what?
it's crazy that there's actually people who listen to this. I never expected people to like actually listen. I thought this was just like a more like a fun side project.
Yeah, and this was also especially considering the fact that our episodes are again a year apart.
A year apart, and I don't think we're very like popular in the school. I'm gonna say.
No, I agree with that.
All right, yeah. So it means a lot to us. So thanks.
Yeah. I also wanted to talk about something else that means a lot to us, and so we were sort of mixed in with the seniors last year. A lot of our friend groups were just made up of complete seniors.
Yeah.
And this year, it's our senior year. That also means the other ones have graduated. And for these next few weeks, we're going to see more people moving to their colleges. Like, there's some people who's going to like stay here, go to college here, but there's going to be people who are moving away.
Mhm.
And so, my question is, how is that going to affect the relationships that we have with them?
I think it'll be hard to see each other, of course. I mean, yeah, they're like miles, thousands of miles away. But at the same time, if both of you like really want to make it work, I think it will. Because I've been in that situation where a friend moves away, like very far away. And I've managed to make it work with them because we both wanted to. We kept contact, talked every now and then. I still call her every now and then. So,
Well, yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what you need to do.
Mhm.
So, what you're saying is that in order to make it survive, you have to have a good sense of communication
yeah,
with other
yeah.
ones. And so that brings me to another question. I found that people, when they know they're not going to talk to people a lot, they end up opening up more in the sessions that they have, in the few conversations that they have.
No, yeah, that's happened. That's happened,
So,
definitely, yeah.
why do you think that is?
Why? I mean, because there's less communication, so you're gonna have to like catch them up on everything, I guess. And because you see each other less, you have less time to talk, so you open up more, I guess, to kind of like compensate for that. If that makes sense.
No, that makes 100% sense.
Yeah, because I've had it happen with me and a couple other friends in the past. Yeah, and it happens. Has it happened to you?
It has happened to me.
Yeah.
More than I'd like to say, but it's fine. You know, we
I,
keep moving forward.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily a bad thing though. I mean, I think it's good catching up with friends. Sure, they open up a lot, and as long as as long as we give them to them like a minimum, I guess, because they do take a toll on someone's mental health. Not just them, but the person they're talking to. But I think it's a normal part of life.
Yeah, I was more complaining about the fact that I have to catch up with a lot of people.
Oh, okay.
But that's okay. That's okay. Like I said, it's fun because catching up with people that like keeps your relationship solid, and hopefully there will be days that you get to like see them again in person, and actually spend time with them.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say so. And plus, they might come back. You might see them again in person some other time.
And so this brings me to my last questions on how distance can affect like friendships and relationships, and that is how much distance do you think would affect a relationship? Like, say if someone lives an hour away as opposed to 12 hours away, what do you think the difference is there?
An hour away, as opposed to 12 hours. Jeez. I guess it really just depends on both people. They both want to make it work. I have friends who live, miles from here, like 2 minutes, and I have friends who live 12 hours from here. So I think it will be, I want to say, harder for people who live at a longer distances, just because of the actual like physical distance between each other. But at the same time, I think it really just depends on the people, on the person who you're talking with, and if they want to make it work with you or not. Not in a relationship sort of sense, but like in any sort of sense, like a friendship wise sense.
No, that makes 100% sense.
Okay.
And yeah, I agree with that. Again, in order to maintain long distance stuff, you have to have a good communication with the other person. You guys both have to participate, because if not, even if one person fails to do it, it's gonna go downhill.
I'd say so. But I've thought about it before. Like, we often like think of like losing a friend or like losing touch with somebody is bad. But do you think all of them are like bad? I guess. Is it bad to lose contact with somebody?
I think it depends on how you lose contact with someone. It can be, look, as you grow up, you become a different person. I think that stands true for everyone, and with that comes like possible falling out with people.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you go apart from people, and so I think that time and those times, you could try as hard as you can to like maintain that relationship, but if they're not doing the same, then you have to do something that's good for yourself and just let go and move on.
Yeah, I'd say so. Sometimes it is better to just not be friends at all. Or like, I guess it sounds a little harsh and mean, but sometimes it sounds a little selfish too, is what I thought of it at first. But sometimes it is necessary, I guess.
hmm
So yeah,
And I wouldn't say you really have to like stop being friends with them. I'm just saying you shouldn't try so hard to
force a friendship.
exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're getting into some deep topics here on the podcast.
Yeah, first time. Yeah.
First, I don't mind them actually. I like them.
Deep topics,
Deep
they
topics.
are great for conversation. It's like all about this philosophical debate stuff.
Every now and then, I'd say we should have something.
Some deep topics.
Some deep topics, yeah.
Or we could also just talk about movies coming out this summer
Of course, of course.
with excellent segues into a cinematic summer.
What movies have you watched, Sebby?
Movies have I watched recently?
Yeah.
The last one I watched was DC's League of Super Pets, I think. That's
Wow.
Yeah.
How was cinematic masterpiece, right?
Cinematic masterpiece.
How was it? How was it?
I actually don't remember a lot of it. I'm gonna be honest
Are
with
you
you.
kidding me? Who'd you
I
watch it with to begin?
my family.
Okay.
Yeah.
I figured.
My cousins came in from Peru, which is awesome. They saw it in English. They understand English, which is like they're like fluent in English. I think that's really cool. And we all watched it together. And I think they cried a little bit at the end.
Really?
I'm not entirely sure, but they might have.
They cried at DC's League of Super Pets, really?
I think all like cartoonish movies, animation movies, they sort of have like some underlying message, and they try to bring that out a lot, and that sort of like causes people to cry.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
The last movie I watched was Top Gun, the new one. The
How
new
was
Maverick.
that?
Every time I saw Miles Teller, I'm like, dang, I would rock a mustache. Like, I need a mustache after seeing this guy. But that, I need to remind myself, Isaac, you're 16, you're in high school, and you have braces. You cannot have a mustache at this point in your life. So yeah, maybe for college, maybe in the future.
Maybe in the future.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
The future is unknown. We'll see.
We'll see. Exactly.
Anyways, we are now past our 10-minute mark for this podcast episode. So I think, are we going to wrap it up here now?
I'd say we should.
All right.
Goodbye, guys. This has been a podcast with Sebby and Isaac.
Just a podcast. You're welcome.